Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all had a lovely start to the new year. So this is going to be another hairstyling tutorial. This is in partnership with TRESemmé, and I'm actually going to be working with TRESemmé a lot over the next year, which is very exciting, and creating a bunch of different styling videos and like tips and tutorials. So this video is going to be all about how to use a curling tong in 3 different ways. Now curling tongs are actually very versatile stylers. I'm always getting asked what I use to style my hair when I do like my big bouncy waves, and it's always with this curling tong, and I actually use it as a waving wand a lot of the time, so it is very versatile. There are 3 main styles that I wanted to show you today, so I thought I'd do a bit of a demo and just show you a few different techniques that you can use with just one styler to create a few different looks. Now whenever I heat style my hair, I will always use a heat protector spray. That is one of the most important steps, because if you think about it, like your styling tools can get up to 230 degrees C, which is very hot, and I've burnt my hands, I've burnt my leg multiple times. You can imagine just how damaging it is for your hair, especially if you colour your hair or bleach your hair like I do. It's kind of like double the damage. So I'll always use a heat protector spray. One that I really love is the TRESemmé Heat Tamer Spray. It's affordable, it smells absolutely amazing. I can't tell you how good it smells. It's like peachy and floral, and I'm pretty sure I used to use this when I was at college and school back in England, because whenever I spray it, it just reminds me of England. It's just a really solid product. It protects your hair against heat, it locks in moisture, and it's a really crucial step of your styling routine. So I will normally use this before I blow dry my hair, and then I'll use it again on dry hair before I heat style it. So I'll just spray it just on the ends. I try not to spray it too close to the roots because I don't want my hair to get greasy, and I'll just pop this on. I try not to put my stylers to like the highest heat that it can go to, because as I mentioned, heat is obviously so damaging, and if you've got quite fine hair, I would definitely recommend lowering the heat. Obviously if you've got super coarse hair, or if it's quite resistant to heat, then you can kind of bump the heat up a bit. There are 3 different styles that I wanted to show you, so I'll just do a quick demo of the technique. So this is the first technique, and it's just like a classic curling tong, and then with this technique you'll get kind of more of like a tighter, longer curl. The second technique is how I normally do my hair, and that's I'll treat my curling tong like a waving wand. So I'll flip it around and then just sort of wrap my hair around the barrel, and this curl is just a little bit sort of bigger and bouncier, and I really like it. So there is a slight difference, quite hard to tell with just one strand, but there is a difference. And then the third technique that I'm going to show you is actually one of my favourites. So this technique is great for creating more of like a beachy style. You can see that the technique is different to the other 2, and there are lots of like crimpers on the market at the moment to create beachy waves, and this is actually another way that you can create that same sort of crimped look, but just with a curling tong. So I do like how versatile this tool is, so you can kind of see that this is very, very different. This creates more of like a loose beach wave. It's a lot more relaxed, very, very summery and beachy. So you can't really tell that much, but I'm going to basically do half of my head using the classic curling tong technique, the second half of my hair doing like a classic waving wand technique, and then I'm going to go over all of my hair and do like a beachy look, because I really, really like that style, and then that's kind of what I can finish off with. There are actually 2 different techniques that you can use to style your hair, kind of following like the classic curling tong method. You can either lift the clamp like so, and basically wrap your hair around the tong, keeping the clamp up. I do find it a little bit more fiddly this way, and I'm more likely to burn my fingers, but it is one of the techniques, and it actually does help having a heat styler that's got a little rubber bit at the end, so you can kind of hold it. Okay, as you can see, it's quite a tight, almost like ringlet-y curl. And the other technique, and this is one that I normally follow, is I basically clamp my hair at the bottom like that, and just kind of roll the barrel round, holding on to the end, and then you just roll your hair up like so. And I find that I'm less likely to burn my fingers, and when you do it this way, you're also kind of like smoothing out the hair as well. So if your hair's a little bit frizzy, then this will help to just smooth it out a little bit. So the curl is basically the same, but it's just a different technique. There's all these techniques with these tools, right? So I'm just gonna continue curling using this method on this side, and it would be good to kind of do a comparison and see how the curls differ. One thing you can do as well actually is kind of leave out the bottom inch of your hair, and that creates a bit more of like a relaxed and beachy look if the bottom is straight. And another thing, if the curl is a little bit too kind of bouncy and tight for your liking, you can just kind of stretch the curl out while it's cooling like that, and then it will make it just a little bit looser and it will drop out a little bit more. Okay, so let's do the top section. That's actually quite quick. And then I'll just apply a little bit more of my spray as well, just to the ends, especially because I have a lot more colour at the ends of my hair. I always try and give them a little bit more attention just so that they get too frazzled. So what you can also do is alternate the direction that you curl your hair, so you can do it forwards and then do it backwards. It's really up to you. I tend not to do that, but obviously it's just kind of personal preference really. And then we are all done. So as you can see, the curls are pretty ringlety, aren't they? They're kind of flatter but quite ringlety, and this is the kind of curl you get from the classic curling tong technique. So technique number 2 is the waving wand technique, and obviously you can follow this technique if you have a waving wand, but my curling tong, it just doubles up as a waving wand really well, just because the barrel is nice and long. I can wrap my hair around it. This technique is different because it doesn't involve the clamp, so I'm gonna spray the ends. It just smells so nice. It literally smells so nice. Okay, so with this technique I am going to flip the barrel over like that and basically just wrap my hair around the barrel and hold it for a couple of seconds and let it go. And you can kind of see here that the curl is just different. It's a little bit wider, it's a little bit bouncier, a little bit more natural, because this is quite a tight sort of curl. And I really do like using a wavy one because it's just so easy, and I don't find that I burn my fingers either, which is a bonus. And one thing that I would recommend when you're using a styling tool like this is basically when you kind of wrap the hair around the barrel, you want it to sit in the direction that you want the curl to fall. So by doing it this way, I know that the curl is going to fall downwards and it's going to sit quite naturally. But the mistake that a lot of people make with waving ones actually is they will place the waving one like this and kind of wrap the hair around upwards, and so all that happens is that the hair it doesn't fall naturally. So if you flip it around that way, then it just falls a lot better, and it just kind of sits a lot nicer basically. It just looks a lot better in general. So I'm going to finish off this side, and then when it's cool, brush it all out, and then I'll show you what it looks like and kind of do a bit of a style comparison. Okay, so just onto this front section, and we are almost done. So we are looking very, very curly right now, so I'm just going to wait for it to cool properly, and then I can kind of brush it out with my fingers and show you a side-by-side comparison, and then we can go on to style number 3. Okay, so there's definitely a difference between the two sides. The curls that I got from the classic curling tong technique are definitely a lot tighter. The curls are a little bit more defined, it's a little bit less natural, a little bit more glam, whereas the curls from the waving wand are definitely a little bit bigger, a little bit bouncier in a way, and a little bit more relaxed and natural. So this style is like my go-to. I'll do this pretty much all the time, and I find that second day and third day it sits really, really nicely too. This style is lovely, it's just a little bit more defined, yeah, both are very, very nice. So there is another style that I was going to show you as well. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go over what I've already done, because it should work, hopefully. Unfortunately, I don't have another head to demonstrate on. If I had 2 sets of hair, that would be great, but unfortunately I don't, so we'll just have to work with what we've got. Just give the ends a bit of a spray, and for this technique it does require a little bit more thought, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually really quick and easy. So for this one, you will basically clamp the hair and wrap your hair around the clamp, and basically once you get to about here, you want to twist around and then wrap your hair around again and then twist the round, and basically keep going until you get to the end. It's hard to see what it's going to look like, but I'm just going to leave it, and then once it's cool we'll brush it out. Just following the same technique, and you basically end up with kind of like braid waves, but you just don't have to sleep with your hair in plaits, which is great. Another thing to note with the style is if you want your beachy waves to be tighter, you basically just do more twists. If you want your waves to be looser, you would do maybe like 2 twists. But it really just depends how long your hair is, how thick it is, and the style that you want. And what's cool is you can kind of make it up and make it your own, depending on what you like. So onto the very last bit around the front, and I'm excited to show you the style because it's very different to the other 2, and it's a lot more sort of beachy and natural. So this is what it looks like before you brush it out. So not that attractive, and I feel like it looks like one of those shaggy dogs. I can't remember what they're called. But what I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to spray a little bit of hairspray. My go-to is the TRESemmé Tres 2. I also really like the climate control hairspray. Like, I feel like I've tried every single one of their hairsprays. You might have seen my my video on creating more volume when I use this product. It's just so good. So I'm just going to just spray my hair with a little bit of hairspray just to kind of set the style. Now that it's pretty much cool, just start to brush it out. I haven't styled my hair like this for a while, and I forgot how much I like it. It's so cool. So as you can see, it's definitely a lot more like beachy. It's more of like a wave than a curl, but it's really cool. So yeah, that is the other look that you can create with a curling tongue, and I really like it. And it's just, yeah, it's nice to create beachy hair, even though we're not going to be on, well, a tropical beach anytime soon probably, which is really quite sad. But anyway, at least I feel like I've got tropical beachy hair instead. But I hope that you have found this useful. Let me know how you get on if you try any of these techniques. Let me know which is your favourite, and I will pop a link to the heat tamer spray in the description box down below if you want to go check it out. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comment box down below, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!